welcome back to the channel. Thank you as always for clicking play, and welcome back to Utabia Terrier, our series with Huddersfield Town. As you can see today, we are taking on Bournemouth in the FA Cup. It is episode 17. We've got a couple of transfers. You can see we're in January now, and yeah, we've got a couple of transfers, one of them rather cheeky. So before we get to that, in fact, no, we'll show you that first because one of the players scored, so it would be a bit of a spoiler. So let's get into the transfers. And first up, I'm aware you probably can't see them down here because of my ugly mug. The first one came in from Middlesbrough for £8.5 million, and it's this guy, Ashley Fletcher. He's only young, he's 23. You can see he's got 3.5-star potential ability. He's very natural playing a complete forward. It was actually my director of football that found this guy. So I thought, I'm not overwhelmed by his stats, by his abilities, but he's quick. And he's got decent finishing. And it's the fact that he's a natural complete forward, and he can also play as a target man and an advanced forward quite competently as well. He's got good stamina. His physicals are good. His agility is not brilliant. And his heading's average. But I thought he's worth a punt for £8.5 million. If he can help us get promoted, that is what I would be looking for. So I'm quite pleased with that. The reason as well, Laurent Depoitre is coming up to the end of his contract this summer, and I don't think I'm going to renew. He has got the contract extension clause of a year in his contract, but I don't think I'm going to trigger it. I think we're going to run him down and let him leave on a freebie, I think. I said one of them was a cheeky transfer, and it certainly was. You can probably see down here that we signed a player from Manchester United for £2.5 million. We actually also signed a player here for £1 million as well. I'll show you him first because it's Roshan Williams. We've had him on loan all season, and I really like the kid. He's done really, really well while he's been with us. He hasn't, you can see from his appearances, he's not been a regular, but recently he's been in the team and he's been absolutely brilliant. As you can see, look at he's a beast. Look at his physicals. He's an absolute monster. He's lightning quick. His tackling has gone up since he's been playing this run of games. It was at 9 when we signed him. It's gone up to 10. His teamwork's just gone up a little bit, but it's those physicals. They're just fantastic. He's 20 years of age, 4.5-star potential ability. So he's, for us, he's quality Premier League defender. So for £1 million, delighted to get that one over the line permanently. We got also this guy from, this was another one. We got him in from Liverpool. It's a risk because, as you can see, he doesn't have a work permit. So he can't play for us because he's not got any Brazilian caps. So he can't play, but he looks really rather good. Now we have got bids in for him. Look at all these guys. Put him on the development list, and immediately we got hundreds of bids to get him in on loan. And there are a lot of clubs as well interested in taking him. So hopefully he will go out on loan and do whatever he needs to do so we can get him a work permit. And so yeah, the cheeky one. You may remember there was a striker in ridiculously hot form at QPR. So we went in and we bought him. It's James Wilson from Manchester United. £2.5 million we've bought him for. He's valued at £7.5 million in the Championship. How crazy is that they've let him go for £2.5 million? As I say, look, he'd got 17 in 18 for QPR. He was just on fire. He's a top scorer in the Championship. So to get him in, absolutely over the moon. I cannot wait to get him properly into the team. He's played a couple of games for us. You can see on the right there, he's played 2, scored 1. It was a penalty, but I gave him the penalty just to give him. He's only got 12 penalty taking, but I gave him the penalty to get him off the mark. Thankfully, he put it away. Absolutely delighted. QPR are probably raging at me for doing that, but I don't really care. So let's have a look at the matches since our last video, which of course was that epic game at the Medeski against Reading. And you can see what a run of form we have been on coming into today's FA Cup match. We beat QPR 3-0 away. That was on Boxing Day. Absolutely unbelievable performance. Goals from Mitchell, Depoitre and Ayoze Perez. We were fantastic. What a win away from home. That hard run of away games, 3 in a row, yielded 7 points. Couldn't be happier with that. We then followed it up with a 2-0 win against Bristol City. Phil Billing scoring a lovely low goal. He is really getting among the goals at the minute. Matty James as well scoring in injury time. West Brom at home, we beat them 3-0. Parika, Roshan Williams and Dimitri Mitchell getting the goals there as well. And then Derby at home, and we went one better again, 4-0. 2 from Iosi Perez, who came off the bench and got 2 goals and an assist. Stipe Parika got a goal after Loris Bronio had opened the scoring. Confidence was really high, and then we went down to Brighton and we lost 1-0 to a Jose Izquierdo goal. But we got back on track at home against Portsmouth with a 2-1 win. Again, Philip Billing, and as I mentioned earlier, that James Wilson penalty. What that does mean, as somebody's phone goes off, apologies if that came over the microphone, it does mean that we have managed to keep our place at the top of the table. We're 3 points ahead of Brighton. Would have been nice to have got the win in the game at the Amex, because that would have put us on 62 and Brighton on 53. We would be really, really sitting pretty. As it is, we're still in control of our own destiny. You can see we've got a goal difference vastly superior to everybody. Our next game is away at Ipswich, so playoff chasing Ipswich at the minute, that's not going to be easy, but obviously that is not the focus of today's video. It's AFC Bournemouth. Our past meetings with the Cherries in the Premier League last season, of course, episode 1 of this series, or the first match of this series, was down at Dean Court at the whatever the Cherry Red Records Stadium it's called. It was a good performance. We got a 1-1 draw. Steve Mounier scored for us in that game. Dan Gosling equalised. Then at home we got done 2-0 with Adam Smith and Josh King getting the goals for the Cherries. But let's have a quick look at the team, at the club. It's still Eddie Howe in charge. Of course it is. They've got Steve Cook, Harriata, Begovic. Yeah, they're not looking too bad. They're 7th in the Premier League. I think they were 7th in the last video when we had a look at them, weren't they, as well? So they've not really gone anywhere. They're a long, long way behind 6th. So it's kind of looking a little bit like it did last season in real life, isn't it? Where 7th and then a massive gap to everybody else. That's looking how it is at the minute. Let's have a look at their recent form coming into the game. Well, they did lose 5-0 at Old Trafford. Other than that, they've been pretty good. Look at that, a 6-1 win against Fulham. Callum Wilson getting 4 of those, and he is on fire at the minute, isn't he? He scored in his last couple of games as well, which have both been wins, including a 3-1 win at Anfield in the League Cup semi-final. Oh dear. They're going to be in very, very confident mood, aren't they? So yeah, they've got a decent looking squad. They've got Yerry Mina on loan from Barcelona. He's a bit of a tower at the back, isn't he? I think we can win this. I haven't contemplated it going to replay. I'm not sure if I would do the replay on video. Let's hope we don't need it. Let's hope we get it done in 90. Here are the two teams then at the John Smith Stadium, and you can see we are playing Ashley Fletcher, our new signing, up front. Stipe Parika not even on the bench today. We're going to give James Wilson a run out hopefully in the second half as well. You've got Fidel, Perez and Forrest backing him up. It's a strong team. The only real fitness issue is around Chris Lerver, who's not looking brilliantly fit at the minute, and he's also on a yellow card. But we've got Dimitri Mitchell that can come on from the bench. And it's just a really, really strong team, isn't it? Lewis Cook is still at Bournemouth in the game. I'm surprised at that. They've got Victor Fisher as well. He was a phenom, wasn't he? He was a bit of a wonder kid a few versions of the game ago. I don't think he's ever really delivered on his potential in real life. Or in the game, to be fair. So let's get into them. We're going to say... shall we say we owe Bournemouth? And let's just see. None of these players, apart from Chris Lerver, I think that's... Yep, only Chris Lerver was at the club when we lost at home to Bournemouth last season. So let's hope he can motivate the rest of them to get something out of this. Let's hope for a little bit of an upset. Come on, Huddersfield. I do love the camera angles as they zoom down the players coming out onto the pitch. There's a lot of empty seats at the John Smith Stadium. Don't think that would be a thing. It is absolutely hammering it down though, isn't it? It's the 22nd of January. This is the FA Cup third round. This is the first time we're playing this tie, and it's the 22nd of January. Really don't understand what happened. Everyone else played their games weeks ago as normal, but for some reason we didn't, and I'm not really sure why. Seems one of those little FM bugs. We had a few of those with Barcelona, didn't we? Here's Ashley Fletcher to Fidel. Oh, Forrest has got some space. Oh, and he snatched at that. Chris Lever to take the free kick, goes in looking for Perez. It's headed away. Here's Lewis Cook. So Asmir Begovic has come into the game carrying an injury, and I'm half tempted to put my players on shoot on sight. Also, Callum Wilson and Nathan Aki are looking really tired. They're mid-70s already. Here's Forrest to Ayosi Perez, and it's just wide. But yeah, you can see there, look at that. I mean, Nathan Aki at 70%, 13 minutes into the match. Begovic has a potential injury. Let's just pause. What is it? It is... Oh, it doesn't say. He's injured, scheduled to complete rehabilitation in 5 days. It's a fractured wrist. Why are you playing your goalkeeper with a broken hand? What is going on there? Really think we need to be getting into these and shooting from everywhere. Let's have a look. Oh, don't need to. We've scored. 17 and a half minutes on the clock, and Inigo Ruiz de Galarreta is off the mark for the club. It was a free kick from James Forrest, headed on by Callas and swept home brilliantly by Galarreta on the left foot volley, and that is first blood Huddersfield Town. Let's hope we can build on that now. A cup set is on the cards. Here's Steve Cook to Yerry Mina, forward for Harriata. Lewis Cook played forward for Callum Wilson, who is... Oh, he's played a lovely ball. Benny Kofobi, former Huddersfield striker, has scored on his return to the John Smiths. He had a season on loan a little while ago, quite a few years ago, to be fair. But that is a really, really good goal, isn't it? Callum Wilson knows he's unfit, can't do anything, but he can pick out a brilliant pass. And Benny Kofobi was never going to miss. Here's Callum Wilson looking to build on that immediate equaliser that they scored, but we have the ball now with Matty James. Ayothi Perez to the goal scorer, De Galarreta. Ayothi again forward for Ashley Fletcher. Good hold-up play. Nice. Chris Lerver on the support on the left. De Galarreta again. Matty James. Nice passing. And he's looked for Ashley Fletcher, and Begovic is on hand to save and hold well. But that was a good little spell of possession. It was a nice little move. It shows that we don't seem to be nervous. We seem to be happy to take it to them. I mean, don't forget, they are pretty... Oh, that came all the way through to Fidel, and he should have at least hit the target there. But really encouraged with the start we've made to this game. We are really taking the game to our Premier League opposition, and Bicacic tidies up at the back. Oya Fernandez plays it forward. Fletcher gets the header to Ayothi Perez. We've got a runner on the right in James Forrest. Matty James picks him out brilliantly. Big booming cross for Ashley Fletcher, and he's headed it over. But another encouraging sign, another good move from the lads. At the moment, I'd be happy at 1-1 at half time. 10 minutes to go. Don't want to be hit by a sucker punch, which we could be right here as Afobe heads across, and we have been hit by the sucker punch. And Bournemouth have had 2 shots on target and are now 2-1 up. That is Premier League, isn't it? Lewis Cook. That's poor goalkeeping, to be fair. Oh, that is just really, really bad. We're going to just chuck a little pause on there. We're going to give him another little encourage, because we've played well. We have played well. I mean, we've got more of the ball. We've had more shots. And it's just the Premier League, the clinical finishing of a Premier League team has done for us at the minute. It's played forward. Ashley Fletcher loses out. Here's Victor Fisher. Harriata looking to get Callum Wilson in the channel. Across it goes to Benny Kofobi. And it's a good save from Oya Fernandez. We are hanging on by a thread at the minute, but Ryan Fredericks can bring it away. Nice little interchange. Here's De Galarreta. Ayothi Perez forward for Ashley Fletcher. Go on, son. Run at them. Mass ranks of the defence at the minute, but Perez has looked for Fidel, pulls it across. Oh, and Ashley Fletcher's missed a sitter. Oh, you should have scored that. And Benny Kofobi could be in at the other end, but Bicacic gets to it. Oh, that was a frantic little spell of possession, wasn't it? Ashley Fletcher should have scored. There is no excuse for that. But here's Ryan Fredericks, drilling one just wide. 2-1 at half-time then to the Premier League team, and that is so frustrating. I mean, look, we've had 60% of the ball. We've had double their shots. We haven't put enough on target, in fairness, but we don't deserve to be behind, do we? Apparently, that rain is just drizzle. I haven't lived in Huddersfield for a long time. That looks a bit heavier than drizzle to me. I think we're going to say assertively that we deserve to win this match, so let's go and do it. And we're just going to go in and we're just going to tell everyone that they can improve, because this game is there. I still feel we can turn this around. I still feel that this is there for the taking. Let's get out there, early equaliser, and let's build on that. Ashley Fletcher kicks the game off, the second half for us. Here's Ryan Fredericks forward for Matty James. Ayoze Perez gives it back to James, and Forrest now. I don't know why I'm commentating on this. It's the opening highlight, isn't it? But maybe something will come of it. Here's Chris Lerver. Cross to Matty James. Ayoze Perez. Oh, it's a good tackle. Ryan Fredericks will take this throw into De Galarreta. Across to Chris Lerver on the edge of the box. He's played the 1-2. Oh, well, what a hit from Chris Lerver. It's 2-2. He played a little 1-2 there, didn't he, with Ayoze Perez. And they've smashed in a brilliant goal. Let's have another look at this. What a 1-2 on the edge of the box. You can't get the shot there, can he? So he gives it to Perez to set him up. And then it flies into the top corner like an arrow. What a hit from the German left-back. That is no less than we deserve. We have been probably the better team overall, and we now may have a head of steam as we look to, we're on the defensive now. We had the free kick there, but here's Victor Fisher bringing it away and gives it to Nathan Aki. Afobe trying to get the header on it, and Victor Fisher has blazed it over the bar. Begovic to take the goal kick, goes short to Yeremina. So we've got a double substitution made. Phil Billing has come on for score of the first goal, De Galarreta, and Ashley Fletcher's had an awful game, as Lapadula, a substitute at the other end, has put it wide. We've brought on James Wilson for Ashley Fletcher. I'm starting to think signing Ashley Fletcher was a mistake. I probably should have vetoed that transfer, but I ummed and ahed about it for so long, and I wasn't sure, and I ended up thinking, do you know what, he's a natural complete forward, let's let the transfer go through. And I'm starting to have a bit of buyer's remorse, I have to say. But here's Ayoze Perez to Fidel. Back to Phil Billing. Matty James goes out for Chris Lerver. Back for Billing. Good controlled possession. Ayoze Perez. James Wilson. Back for Matty James. Forrest. Ayoze Perez. Oh, he's gone for goal. Begovic has tipped it wide. Yeremina to take this free kick. Final substitution has been made. We've taken Chris Lerver off and we've brought on Dimitri Mitchell. And we've also given them a demand more shout out because they are there for the taking. There is nothing to say that if this goes to a replay that they won't be fit. They are just knackered. Benicophobe picked up a knock as well. So they are just walking dead and they're in to win it. And Lapadula have been denied by a point blank save by Oye Fernandez. Max Gradle's going to take this and it's headed over by Duffy. Benicophobe picked up an injury, has gone off, and it was Lapadula that came on for him. Max Gradle is also on now. Here's Phil Billing now. Ayoze Perez to Fidel, and it's a good challenge by Yeremina, but Mitchell has it. Matty James, I don't like this orange ball. Mitchell back to Matty James for Ayoze Perez. Matty James tried the same trick that Chris Lerver tried, didn't he? The 1-2 with Ayoze Perez, but his shot was blocked, and it's really looking like it's going to end up in a replay on the South Coast unless Bournemouth can do something here. It's Callum Wilson and Daniel Oye Fernandez with a full stretch save to tip it over. Been a much better second half from Bournemouth, in fairness, and yet they haven't scored. Here's Max Gradle. Callum Wilson drags it well wide. Well, it looks like that is it. There is the final whistle. That was the shortest exit highlight ever. Disappointed that we couldn't make our fitness count. I mean, look at the state of those Bournemouth players. I mean, they are absolutely dead, aren't they? And look at ours. Ours are all in their 70s and above, and they have got players on 50 and 56 and 60. We really should have put that one to bed here. That is, got to say, got a feeling that's an opportunity missed. We are going to say you've done... I'm going to say you've done brilliant to come back and salvage a draw. At the end of the day, it was against a Premier League team, and a good Premier League team at that. They were 7th. So really, really happy with a draw. Just a shame that we couldn't take advantage of the fact that they were tired. Just a shame that we couldn't sneak the winner. But we will go to the South Coast full of optimism that we can still cause that upset. That is it then for this video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Remember to smash that like button, hit subscribe, click the little bell so you get notified when a video goes live. Apologies for the gaps. I've been loving the World Cup. I've kind of had to record this video in two parts. I did the preamble and then a few days later I've done the match itself because of circumstances. But the World Cup is now finished as I'm recording this, and what a World Cup it was. It was absolutely sensational. I loved it. Probably the best World Cup ever, in my opinion. And yeah, I just really, really loved it. Gutted that Croatia couldn't win it, but yeah, never mind. In terms of the next video, let's see what we've got coming up. Obviously, it's not going to be the replay at Bournemouth. So we've got 5th place Ipswich away, 4th place Wolves at home, Norwich, Forest, Birmingham, Bolton, Borough, Hull. I'm trying to find a decent game at the minute, but thinking it might be the trip to Hillsborough. If there's a potential of a game in between, then we might do that, maybe, possibly. But other than that, it may well be all the way down there for that Sheffield Wednesday game. But guys, yeah, thank you so much for watching. Sorry we couldn't deliver a cup upset, but hopefully we will get that win in the replay. As always, love you all. Thank you so much. I will see you soon for episode 18. Bye-bye.